All right, welcome everybody to our Sunday Night Challenger Zoom. This is a call that Elizabeth and I are going to run on meal planning, a little bit about budgeting, a little bit about budgeting, and some stuff about how to follow the nutrition plans that you have. We both have tried both Portion Fix and To Be Mindset. We've done them in different ways at different times. So we're going to go through a little bit of that tonight, and we're going to talk a little bit about how we meal plan and meal prep and grocery shop for our families. I'm a mom of 9, and I have my mother-in-law that lives here also. So I have 11 people right now because my daughter moved out. So I have 11 people in the house right now that I meal plan and meal prep for. And Elizabeth has 2 kids and a husband, so she's got stuff all over the place also. So what I'm going to talk about first is I'm going to talk about initially following a meal plan. So what I wanted to start with was that it's so important for you guys to figure out what your meal plan is that you're going to follow. So you can follow Ultimate Portion Fix, which is the containers. You can follow To Be Mindset, or you can follow the one that which comes with doesn't come with a plate, but it has a plate. She had to get. I have these beautiful, colorful props, so she had to go get her props. Or you can follow the meal plan that comes with each of the programs, and each one of them has its own meal plan. So you can follow any of those different choices. But the most important thing is that you pick one and you commit to it. Because if you pick, I'm going to do a little bit of this and I'm going to do a little bit of that, and then you end up picking, well, I can have alcohol if I do To Be Mindset, and I can have a treat, and I can have carbs at evening if I have Ultimate Portion Fix. So that's what I'm going to do. You're going to end up shooting yourself in the foot. You're not going to be able to do any of them very well because all of them are going to be mashed together, and you're not going to get the best results. So to get the best results, you really need to follow whichever meal plan you pick to a T, as much as you possibly can, to give yourself the best chance of results, of good results. All right, so you can't leave the hard stuff and just do the fun stuff with all the meal plans. You got to do all the parts of it. So you need to follow the plan that will work for you. And I'm going to talk about Ultimate Portion Fix because that's the one that I have in the past gotten the best results for with. I've also done To Be Mindset, but right now I've gone back to Ultimate Portion Fix because I look at a plate and I pile on a lot of food on both sides, and that's how they do it and plate it. So I have to have containers like this to show me what I'm supposed to do. So what I do is I have a big family. And so what I end up doing is, what I wanted to tell you about is how I use this with my family. So I make a lot of meals that are deconstructible is what I like to call them. So what I do is I will make a casserole, but I will pull out a portion of the brown rice and a portion of the meat and a portion of the vegetables, and I'll just put them in bowls. And that way, if there's a kid who's picky and doesn't like to eat the casserole, they can do that. But then what I do is I have this container from like 1972. That's right. It looks like this. It's got a handle, and I keep it on a shelf, and in it are all of my containers. And so I take this to the table and set it in front of me, and I measure out the food from those deconstructed containers in front of me so that I know exactly what I'm getting, and I track all of it on the app that I have on my phone. And I take yes, I do take my phone to the table, and I will track it while I do that. And that way I have the chance to track what I'm doing, stay on track while I'm at my meal, and I still get to eat pretty much the same food everybody else does. Mine just might not have gravy or cheese on it because I might have already had those earlier in the day. But that way I'm not eating something completely different from my kids or from my family, because everybody gets to pick and choose based on what's been put in front of them. I'm not going to make a completely different meal for myself. I do always have a salad at dinner and at lunch on the table. If I need it, I can eat that, and they can eat it, which they never do because it's green. But they can eat that as well. And then I'll take the meat, put it in here, and dump it on my salad. And that was oftentimes how I do this. But also, like if I make an Indian meal and I have something with gravy in it, or the, like coconut milk, I will fill up the containers based on what's in that meal, and I'll fill up 2 or 3, like a yellow for if it's coconut milky yellow. I'd have to look. Almond milk is a yellow. I don't remember, but I don't do a lot of stuff with coconut milk. But like I'll do the meat. If it's meat and it's got green in it and it's got something else, some other stuff, I'll take those and I'll dump them on my salad. It ends up being like salad dressing. So that's how I do it with my family. And sometimes the kids use them just for fun. Usually they don't, because they find that it's too much of certain foods and not enough of others. I don't ask them to do these things, but I do show them if they want to ever try it, they can. It's not something that's just for me. I let them drink my shakes. I let them use the containers. It's a healthy way of living and a healthy way of figuring out your food, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's not like I'm drinking some crazy shake that's got a metabolism jacking ingredients in it, and so I let them have that as well. And this is just a healthy way of figuring out what's in front of you, and the kids can use them in a healthy way, not in a way that will keep them fearful of food when they're older. So, all right, Elizabeth, you're up. How do you use how do you use 2B Mindset with your family?
Well, I'll just first off start by saying I love both 2B Mindset and Ultimate Portion Fix. I go back and forth between them. I have found for myself that when I am pregnant, I really thrive using Ultimate Portion Fix because the containers just really work well for me then. But when I'm breastfeeding or in postpartum, I need a lot more healthy fat than what Ultimate Portion Fix asks me to use. So yeah, that's not enough for me. It's not enough for my baby, really. So I really thrive on 2B Mindset, and eventually I'm gonna probably go back to Ultimate Portion Fix when I need to, just change it up a little bit. So I love having both as options. Right now I'm still breastfeeding, so I'm using 2B Mindset, and just to kind of share what I do specifically with my FFCs, because that tends to be the part where people can overdo it with 2B Mindset and do you have a question, Angie?
What's an FFC?
Well, FFCs are fiber-filled carbs. So those are your grains, fruit, and starchy vegetables. So I tend to eat my grains in the morning because they're slower to process for my body, at least. So I tend to eat those in the morning, so that way my body has all day to process those. And then in the afternoon, for lunch, I'll eat my fruits, because again, that's just a lot of sugar. And then since I'm breastfeeding, the breastfeeding protocol for 2B Mindset is you can have an FFC with dinner. So that's when I'll do like a potato or some sort of other starchy vegetable. So I'm still doing veggies most, but it's something that's going to sustain my milk supply a little bit better. And then everything else I pretty much follow to the book with, well, minus treats sometimes, but I'll get to that. But like the proteins and the veggies are pretty much what you would see in Alana's videos. So yeah, that's all I have about 2B Mindset.
Okay, so I looked up coconut milk. It's a blue.
That makes sense.
So you don't get very much. Okay. All right, so now we're going to go through and talk a little bit about how we do our meal planning for the week or the month. And this is the week that I would do my meal plan for next month, and that's how I do it. So for me as a mom of 9, 8 at home with my mother-in-law here, I have to plan out my entire month. And then I do this partly because it helps me save money. Because if I can look at a whole month of my meals and I can see that we're going to have brown rice 4 meals in 1 week and 3 in the next and 3, I buy a 50-pound bag of brown rice at the beginning of the month, and that will get me through the month plus maybe a little bit of next month. We make a lot of rice. I have one of my kids has celiacs, and so we are not able to have a lot of other grains. So we eat a lot of brown rice. But if I can look at my month and plan it out, I can see exactly what I'm going to need every week, and I can not buy the things I'm not going to need thinking, well, I don't know, maybe I'll need them. And I can see that I'm going to have, 20 meals that have rice in them, and I can buy a 50-pound bag rather than buying a whole bunch of 1-pound bags. So that's one of the things. So I look at my meals, and then one of the things that I did about 2 years ago is we changed up our meal plan so that on 4 days of the week, we have exactly the same thing every week. And that way I always have those things in the house. So we always have tacos on Tuesday. We always have pasta on Monday. Summer's coming, so now we will always have burgers on Saturday and sausage and potatoes on Sunday. All of those meals are deconstructible for me. All of them can be separated out. I can pull out sausage and potatoes, and I don't have to have the potatoes. I'll just put the sausage on my salad. I can separate out and make my taco salad on Tuesday. On Saturday, I can have my burger on a salad or on a lettuce bun or whatever I want to have, or a whole wheat bun. And so it makes it so that I know exactly what's going to happen on those days. And that way I always have those foods in the house. So I know exactly how many burgers. I need 18 burgers every time I do hamburgers. So I need to buy 18 times 4. So I can do that at the beginning of the month. So the beginning of the month, my freezer and pantry are packed. I date all the chips on the outside of the bag so that the children don't eat them, so that they're not allowed to touch them and open them until the date has passed. Once the date has passed, they can eat as many of those chips as they want, but until then, they have to save them for the meal. I only buy chips that I will not eat so that I don't eat chips. Otherwise, I will lick the inside of the bag of the Doritos. And then that also helps me so that I don't have to worry about, are we going to have the food that the kids want and that they'll come to the meal for? Because I have some teenagers and they just won't come. They'll just skip. They'll just eat at like 3 in the morning and leave a mess, like a fraternity party happened in my kitchen at 3 in the morning. So I have to make sure that there's something that will get them to the meal besides my disdain for them not coming. And I have to kind of entice them. So I will have chips on Saturdays, and we do have Doritos on Tuesdays. As long as I don't eat one Dorito, I won't eat the whole bag. If I eat one, game's over. So I have to stay away from those. But I do have them for that day. Same thing for all the other days. I make a plan. So I buy sausage for Sunday nights. I know I need 2 pounds of sausage, so I buy 8 pounds at the beginning of the month, and I stick it in the freezer. The less often you have to go to the grocery store, the more money you'll save. If you have to go to the grocery store, if I go to the grocery store, I can drop $100 in 20 minutes every time I go. It doesn't matter if I go every day or if I go once a week. Same amount of money. I can walk through and go, oh yeah, we could use more bagels and everything else. So my biggest tip for saving money is don't go to the store. Go one time, follow a list, don't go back. If you don't have it, make it or don't use it. Don't just go without. So that's my biggest money saving tip. Let's see. So that's how I do my meal plan. I make food that I can deconstruct. I serve food that I can resist, that I don't need to overeat on, or that I don't feel like an emotional pull to. There's some that I do, I don't. Have stuff in your freezer that is backup stuff. So like if I know we're having rice and I'm having a hard time not eating rice in the evenings, I will make sure that I have frozen cauliflower rice so that I can pull that out and in 4 minutes while the other rice is cooking, give me a veggie for dinner instead of more carbs, because oftentimes the carbs are gone by the time I get to dinner, and that's why I have to have a salad. And sometimes I don't want to have a salad. I've had it with lettuce. It takes so long to eat. So, so I keep backup stuff, like I keep zucchini, so I can make zucchini noodles in my house. I keep frozen cauliflower rice, and I'll keep frozen broccoli because I'll put most of those meals I can put over broccoli as well. If something isn't working for me, I change it. If my meal plan's not working, I can't keep going on and doing the same thing. So those 4 meals seem to work. And then what I try to do is a couple days of the week, I add in 1 or 2 new things. Those are usually what I have to buy on my weekly grocery shopping thing. So I'll go once at the very beginning of the month, and then I go weekly for just the fresh produce and the things I need for those funky usually 2 meals that I have during the month. And my tip for you, if you're not getting results for either your Ultimate Portion Fix or 2B Mindset, is you need to look at the lists and follow the top third. If you're eating the food that is the more dense nutritional food is at the top of the lists, and she has them in order. Both of them have them in order in the app, or you can look at the list in the books. The most nutritionally dense food is at the top, and it will give you the best results. So if you're not getting results because you're following it to a T, but it's not working, my suggestion is to look at the lists and go back to the top of the list, because that's where you're going to get the best results. All right. Elizabeth's turn.
Okay. I mean, Angie hit a lot of the things that I was going to say too. So that just kind of goes to show you, like, there is like a rhythm that you get into with this nutrition stuff. And a lot of the things that are true for, you know, people who've been doing it for a while are going to be true for you when you start, you know, following it better. Is it learning it better? I mean, me and Angie have been on the tree train the past couple weeks, so it's been, anyway. Elizabeth asked what kind of format you would recommend to plan it out with. I'm going to share my screen and show you how I do it. Disclaimer, I do it very, I'm an organizer, so I like to have things very meticulous. And even if I don't follow it, I like to at least have the option of following something. So if you're not a planner, like what you're about to see, don't get overwhelmed. There's so many ways that you can be successful doing this. It does not have to look like this. So let me share my screen here. So this is my Google, can you guys see it? Okay, so this is my Google spreadsheet of my monthly meal plan. So I started monthly meal planning at the beginning, or I guess it was at the end of March. So I've been doing it through April and through May. And this is what it looks like. So I pretty much eat the same thing. I actually have gone to just drinking my shake and having my oatmeal with banana pretty much every day except for Friday and Saturday. I keep my French toast. French toast Friday is like my favorite thing. And then my pancakes on Saturday. And then typically I'll do this as my snack, my cheese stick and apple and carrots. And then I'll have a salad for lunch every day. And then I'll change up my dinners, and my dinners are rotated. So if you were to look through all of my dinners, you can see that like a lot of the meals, I guess I don't have, 31 different meals here. There's like maybe 10, and I just change them up or call them by a different name. This looks not like that. I was on the wrong one. Okay, so that was April. This is May. This is a lot more simple because I have the actual things here. There we go. But like Angie said, like I do, some weeks I'll do tacos on Tuesday. I'm not a huge taco fan, so we don't do it every week. But I love tuna, so we do tuna every Monday. That's been consistent since I got pregnant with my second daughter. I don't know why she made me like tuna so much, but she did. And then I'll put in when my grocery days are, so that way I know what food I need to buy up through that day. So hopefully that's helpful. And then let's see, what else should I do my tips now? I'll do my tips now. And I've shared this in a group before, like my whole meal plan. I can share it again if anybody wants to. I can make like it's not really hard to make your own on Google spreadsheets, but I can share it again just to give you an idea. But I wanted to go over a couple tips for how I save money at the grocery store. The first one, these are 5 tips if you're taking notes at all. The first one is I use cash and not credit card. Me and my husband reduced our monthly grocery budget from $400 a month to $250 a month. So that was a pretty huge cut for us. And the way that we were able to stick to it is because withdrew $250 at the beginning of April and at the beginning of May, and we could only spend money on food, and that's all food. So that's our groceries, and that's for food like eating out, or I guess ordering out, since we can't eat out right now. And it really helped us to hone in on where we were like mindlessly buying stuff. So like snacks that we didn't actually need to have in the house, or, you know, we were buying a lot of meat and just eating a lot of meat in general, where we could have been reducing the portion sizes to a you know, more reasonable amount for our family of, yes, that's where Portion Fix would help us. But even like, you know, we were just pushing the 2B mindset boundaries on our plate a little bit. So that's something that really helped us, using cash, not credit card. And we also, just another side note on that, we figured out that the money that we were getting in cash back from using a credit card was actually not very much compared to how much we were saving. So we were, I think overall we would have gotten $600 a year in cash back, whereas if we just used cash, then we're going to be saving like $1,200 a year, or maybe it was 18. I don't know. I should have had the math in front of me. Either way, we're saving a lot more money by using cash instead of worrying about the cash back. And then the second tip is I plan all my meals out, like I just showed you. And I eat pretty much the same breakfast, lunch, and snack every day, like I said, and then change it up for dinner. The third tip is I look at the ad each week to see what deals are going on. So I feel like that one's pretty self-explanatory. Just shop the deals.
But the thing about that is you have to look at them before you make your meal plan.
Not necessarily.
Because you can't make your meal plan and expect to be having ground beef, but if it's not on sale, so you need to look at them before you make your meal plan. Or you have to be flexible when you get to the store so that you can switch it up at the store, which is what I've had to do this last couple months because COVID has taken all the chicken out of some of our grocery stores. And so I've had to switch it up as I'm standing in the grocery store thinking, okay, I can't have that. I can't have ground beef this week because the price skyrocketed. And so I had to have something different this week.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I look at my meal plan to answer your question, Megan. I usually look at my meal plan before each week to see if I need to change stuff up based on the ad. Usually I don't change very much up. Like this week, avocados are on sale. I'm not really supposed to eat anything with avocados this week, but I'm definitely going to buy some avocados. So that's where I'm going to, why are you looking at me like that, Angie? Anyway, my fourth tip, I only buy things that are on my list. So like Angie said, I don't walk down tempting aisles. I look at my list, I hit all of the spots in the store, and then I check out and leave. I don't meander as much as I really want to. I'm like the world's slowest shopper when I want to be, because I just like to look at each product and just like, I don't know, soak it in. Might be because I have small children at home who are just, I know I don't have to hang out with for that 1 hour that I get each week grocery shopping. But so stick to your list. And then the fifth one is I have stopped buying pre-prepped vegetables and like salad kits and fruits and stuff, because I realized that I was spending like twice as much money as I needed to on that stuff. And that's just ridiculous. So I buy the most basic options and I just prep it all myself. Yeah.
But just like what all the stuff that she said is very similar to, we've figured out how to use the meal plans for our family and for ourselves. And it's not impossible. Sometimes looking at them, the first time I saw the Ultimate Portion Fix stuff, I thought, I cannot do that. I cannot measure out everything I do. I can't even wrap my head around how to do it. But it's important to just start doing it. That action will drive away all the fear and all of the anxiety about it. So even if you just pick doing your meal plan for breakfast this week, or just for lunches, or figure out your containers just for a couple of the meals, until you start to get the hang of it. I can look now and I know I can stick an entire head of romaine lettuce in this container. Oh yes.
No.
Oh, I've shoved the entire thing in. I know an entire, so I don't have to measure that one anymore, because I've gotten an entire thing of romaine lettuce in one before and I'm like, got it. So there's stuff you learn as you go, and it becomes a little more freeing, because I can look at my table and go, oh, I still have a blue left, so I can have cheese. And I can take care of my family and myself by knowing what I'm doing and not winging it like I was doing when I wasn't getting results. So the biggest tip.
I was going to answer. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
I was going to answer Elizabeth's question real quick, just of what I do.
Go ahead. You can answer it.
So what I usually do for lunches is salad. So salad like lettuce, or I do tuna salad stuffed in a bell pepper, or I do egg salad on toast. So that's my rule of thumb for lunch is salad. And you can do like chicken salad, or you know, I don't know what other kinds of salads there are, but yeah, that's my answer for that. What do you do, Angie?
For lunch, I start with a green, which is either a salad or a vegetable. I start with that, and then I work from there. Usually lunch, I usually have a green and red. So sometimes but with 2B Mindset, you're supposed to have a carb, a FFC, with your lunch, because that's your last one of the day. That's where it all comes to an end, which is one of the reasons why I'm not following it right now, is because I like to have carbs for dinner. So because I like to have carbs for dinner, and I am unwavering in that right now, and I will not bend. I'm not using. Sometimes I'll have a carb for dinner or for lunch. I mean, lunch or breakfast, but usually I save them for dinner time, because that's when I like to have them. And I feel I want to be able to eat those with my kids. Having a salad for lunch, they don't care if I have a carb or not. But when I don't eat the potatoes for dinner, or I don't eat the rice for dinner, they pay more attention to that. And sometimes I just want them to think, this is just life. And sometimes I eat them and sometimes I don't, but I want them to understand, not have any like issues with food that come about because I'm using these containers. I don't want them to feel like something weird that I'm doing. I want it to be like a freeing thing, like, no, I'm going to eat that. And yes, I shove as many pieces of rice in this as I can, and when I flip it over, it is a square, because I have shoved so much in there. Salads and leftovers for dinner. Allison, you want to unmute and say what that means?
I was just answering Elizabeth's question. Like, that's what I have too. I usually have a salad, or if I have leftovers from dinner the night before, I'll, depending on what program you're on, I'll just eat my leftovers. So that's what I do.
And both of the nutrient. Go ahead. What'd you say?
I'm a big salad person too. Like I do tuna salad or with Greek yogurt. Like instead of mayonnaise, I'll use the Greek yogurt. Um, I'm kind of in between programs too right now. I just posted that in our challenge group. I had a very bad week with nutrition and my workout. So I'm not a shining star right now. I am a coach in one of the groups, but I've been following 2B Mindset for a long time, and I probably do need to switch back to the containers because I'm like Angie, like I want my carb at night, so they both work excellent. They both are great programs, but
you can't go back and forth.
I know.
In the same day. Like you
No.
got to pick.
You can't.
Yeah.
You have to pick one and stick to it. And but anyway, that's what I do, Elizabeth. I usually have a salad. But I love salad. Like that, I can legitimately say I love salad. Like I could eat it every day. That's not something I get tired of. So sometimes I'll just change up how I do the salad. Like if I have turkey from the deli, I'll use that as my protein on my salad, or tuna. Like sometimes they would put a tuna salad on my bed of green salad. So
yeah, I guess I was just trying to see if anybody has like, I like eating salad. I'm trying to like figure out a way to get my husband and I to be eating better, I guess, for lunchtime. So salad is not filling enough for him
You want to say something?
most days.
Andrea's got a suggestion for you. Hold on, Elizabeth.
A lot of times for lunch, what I will do is I have the Shakeology for lunch, and I put so much stuff in it that it is so filling. You know, I put like half a zucchini in there, and then I will put like additional fruits in, like, you know, one of the containers of frozen strawberries, and like the more that I put in that, the more filling that shake becomes too. And I feel like after I have it, then I'm full and I don't want anything else. And I might just have another piece of fruit on the side with it. When I was still going to work before the lockdown, that's what I would take every day, is like a really full shake loaded with fruits and vegetables inside of it, and then another side of fruit to have like as a snack during the day. And I found that got me through my day pretty good.
Okay.
So will he eat hamburgers?
Mm-hmm.
So would he eat them on like one of those really thin buns instead of a regular bun?
I'm sure, yeah, if I made it for lunch, yeah.
I mean, one of the reasons sometimes I'll make more than 18 burgers when I make burgers, but one of the reasons is I usually have a couple, like 2 left over at the end. If I can hide them from the kids that eat in the middle of the night, I'll have them the next day, and I can put them on a salad, or I'll eat them on one piece of bread instead of 2, or 1/2 of a bun. But if you can figure out a way, so it's, you know, whatever works for your family. So that's why I serve sausage and potatoes would not fall under anybody's meal plan, but I can figure out a way to make it work so that my kids will eat the food. It's still real food. It's not like they're eating, well, whatever. They're not eating packets and pouches and boxes of stuff. They're eating real food. And I just try to make that kind of thing the priority over following everything kind of crazy, so that my kids are still getting the food that they like and that they will eat. And if it means you have to start slowly with him, hamburgers for lunch every day, you make, you know, 7 of them on Sunday, and you've got them for the week, and he eats a burger every day for lunch, but you know what he's having, and you know that he's having a protein and a carb, and you can put some veggies with it or something. And at least he's not, you know, eating a whole bag of Doritos.
Yeah, or just not eating.
Or just not eating, which then makes everything worse later on in the day. Right.
Right.
So find
Okay.
something that he eat. Find something that they like, whether it's your family or your kids or your husband or your mother-in-law that lives with you, whoever it is, find what they like, and then start with that and work from there, because that's going to be the thing that will start. Once they can start eating healthy around the thing they like, they'll start eating healthy around other things, and it makes a difference. Even if it's a slow progress, it's still progress. So,
Right. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. The other thing is that you guys, you need to track it. You need to track it on the app, or you need to track it in your book, or you need to track it on I have one person who tracks it in a Google Doc. She tracks all of her food in a Google Doc. Is that what yours was?
No.
Yours is a meal plan though.
Yeah.
She tracks her food in a Google Doc because that's what works for her. But it doesn't matter where you track it, but you got to track it, because you can't go, I think I had this yellow, and I think I had this half of a plate, and I think I did this. And if it means you have to take a picture of every meal you have so you can go back and reference it every day, do that. If it means you have to write it down during the meal like I do, otherwise I forget, and then I think I haven't had any food and I eat everything at 11 o'clock at night, that's probably not a good idea. So I have to do it as I'm sitting there with the food. And you have to do it whenever you decide to do it. So just make sure that you track it, and it will help, because you'll get the results you want. Does anybody have any other questions or anything else they'd like to say? All right, then Elizabeth is going to close us in prayer.
Well, I was checking my notes real quick to see if I had anything else to add. I think we pretty much hit everything. Yeah, we'll call it good. All right. Father, thank you so much for this group of ladies. Thank you for this new week that we get to glorify you through all the things that we do, through our nutrition, through our workouts, through loving our families, through sharing joy and love with others. We just ask that you would bless every moment, even the frustrating ones when we feel like we're off track with our nutrition, with our parenting, with our spouse, with our families. We just invite you into each and every moment. And we pray especially for all of those who lost their lives serving our country. And we pray that you would bring their families consolation, and we offer up all of these things to you, Lord. Amen.
Thank you guys for coming. We really appreciate it. Have a good Memorial Day tomorrow. Bye-bye.